Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today we are going to talk about the spell Hunger of Hadar, or Hadar, depending on how you want to say it. I believe it is Hadar. Up right now, we've got the legacy version of this spell. We're going to compare and contrast this to the 2024 version of the spell. We're going to talk about whether it got better or not, whether it got worse or not, if it's still the same, how it is going to interact a little bit more with the 2024 version. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right, here we have the legacy version. It's a third level spell that is usable by warlocks, which was a little bit of a misnomer. There were a couple other classes that could use this, like aberrant sorcerers. But in this one, it was just warlocks. It had a casting time of 1 action, range of 150 feet, which is really good range, verbal, somatic, material component. It lasts for a minute. It required concentration. And then it was a little complicated. The wording of this was not my favorite wording. So you opened a gate to the outer worlds where there's a bunch of unknown Cthulhu-like horrors in it. It's a 20-foot radius sphere of blackness. So blackness in 2014 legacy version didn't actually have a mechanical definition. So the mechanics in the game did not exist. So everybody just kind of didn't know how to interpret that word. But it's a sphere of blackness and bitter cold centered on a point within range and lasting for the duration. This void, again, a word that didn't have any mechanical translation for the rules, is filled with a cacophony of soft whispers and slurping noises. It can be heard up to 30 feet away. That's all flavor. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area, and creatures fully within the area are blinded. Okay, so creatures inside are blinded, but creatures outside, the question was, could they see into it if they had dark vision? I would say if they had devil sight, absolutely. If they had dark vision, you don't really need light. So, and it didn't say it was darkness. It just said it's blackness. So that doesn't really mean anything. So there was always this kind of leftover question mark about this spell. Now, the void, again, didn't have a mechanical definition, creates a warp of fabric of space, and the area is difficult terrain. So they're blinded. It's difficult terrain. Any creature that starts its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage. Any creature that ends its turn in the area must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 2d6 acid damage. Now, so these things all say if it starts its turn, and any creature that ends its turn, not a turn, but its turn. So all this stuff happens on its turn. Okay. So that was the spell. Back in the day, we gave this a B+. That's what we got highlighted right here. Just because of the control of the difficult terrain and the blindness. The damage, not the greatest damage in the world. But it was a little bit of damage if they started their turn. Now, let's look at the 2024 version of this. So it's a third level spell, still 1 action, still range 150 feet. Still lasts for a minute, still concentration, still a conjuration spell. Now they've clarified a little bit of the classes that can use this. So it's Warlock, Aberrant, Sorcerer, Great Old One, Patron. So that's good. And so you open a gateway to the far realm, a region infested with unspeakable horrors. A 20-foot sphere of darkness. Okay, so now we've got a hyperlink to that. Hyperlink to sphere and a hyperlink to darkness. So the area is heavily obscured, and you have the blinded condition while you're trying to see something heavily obscured. So those that don't have dark vision will now not be able to see into the sphere. That has been clarified. The sphere is difficult terrain, and it is filled with strange whispers, swirling noises you can hear within 30 feet. La, 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 la. No light, magical or otherwise, can illuminate the area, and creatures within it have the blinded condition. So now, creatures that are inside can only be seen with things that can see in darkness. From the outside, creatures that are inside of it are just blinded. It doesn't matter what kind of vision they have, they're just blinded. and they're in difficult terrain. And then any creature that start its turn in the area takes 2d6 cold damage. Any creature that ends its turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 acid damage. And you can upcast this. So there was no upcast for this in the Legacy version. There is an upcast for this now in the 2024 version, where the cold and acid damage, your choice, not both, but your choice, increases by 1d6 for each spell slot above 3. I would probably pick the cold damage, unless it was something that was immune to cold. Now, I would pick the cold damage because it's about starting your turn, and it's easy to do that. Somebody can push you into the Hunger of Hadar, and you will start your turn there. You will not necessarily end your turn inside that. So if you upcast this, which if you're a warlock, you really don't have very much of a choice. You're going to be upcasting this if you can cast higher level spells. So I would pick the cold damage. And of course, because this is usable by aberrant sorcerer warlocks, so there it is on their spell list, so they don't have to prepare it. It's just there. There is a saving throw for the acid damage. It doesn't really matter. It's 2d6 damage, so they're going to take, on average, they're going to take 7 points of damage or 3.5 if they make their save. It's the cold damage that really means anything. So I would not put any extra emphasis in using resources from the sorcerer, like sorcery points and things like that, to make those more difficult. If you're in innate sorcery, then that's okay. It's just a little extra bonus to increase the DC of the spell. But for the most part, it doesn't really have that much of an impact on here. The biggest effect of this spell is there's 3 of them: the darkness, the difficult terrain, and the blinded condition. Those are the 3 biggies. And there's a little bit of damage. The damage is just an extra. So all in all, not bad. We're going to keep this spell at a B+. I don't really see this getting bumped up to an A-, although they added the darkness to it, which does clarify things quite a bit and does add a little bit extra. But I'm going to keep it at a B+. All right, that is what I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.